Link. We should generate link here.
Maybe the link here. So the link, your YouTube link. Your link. What's my one? Then you should open your
channel?
So on channel is like my copy link. Check. You see your YouTube. It's already there because it's already linked. So you see my live. So that's not live. But
so the future that we're seeing right now is very clear. Roles will decline globally, but we also have the fastest growing jobs. AI and machine learning specialists. We still have a lot of them. The things that we have are only few, but only because there's a lot of capacity. There was a time when teachers were the highest paid in this country, and everybody wanted a teacher in their family. But it was because they were scarce. Now they are no longer the highest paid. Because there was a time when all everybody wanted to be was a teacher and nothing else. There was a time when doctors were the highest paid in this country. Lawyers, engineers. It's why your parents wanted you to either be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer.
I don't know how.
Now they are not even in the top 10 highest paid professions. Why? Because there was a time where everybody wanted to go there and move there. But you see, the opportunity that we're getting opens up a lot of field for a lot of people. So even if you go there, your value is not going to get eroded. Because in this country, we're not gotten to the point where we can really tap into AI by 30%. And that's the truth.
Like,
Do you know what?
can you just like
Because the
send this
infrastructure
link
that we need to
of
fully tap into AI, we
is
need
it
to
sent
have
to
it.
people who like join?
The most important infrastructure is what? Electricity.
I'll share the link.
And
I'll
we
tell
don't
them to
have
share
that.
the link. Okay.
Then we need internet. We don't have that. I heard China is now testing 10G. We don't even really have 5G. That tells you that if you're in this hall and you are listening to me right now, forget everything that I was trying to scare you earlier. That was for me to prepare you for the global future. Because the goal is not for you to compete in Nigeria, right? The goal is not for you to compete in Africa, right?
Yes.
It's for you to be able to compete anywhere in the world. But right now, I don't want to compete with China. Even the US can't compete with China right now. They're far ahead of everybody. Forget what you say in the news. China is in the future. We're all in the past. The US is struggling to catch up. Hence why Trump is making a lot of very aggressive moves. Has anyone heard of Project Stargate before? Please, when you leave here, go and Google Project Stargate. I try to read up on what the US is trying to achieve with that. But the truth is, they are playing catch up. But we are not even anywhere to play catch up. That's not for you to be sad or for you to feel embarrassed about being in Nigeria. It's an opportunity. Because the infrastructure does not exist yet, the demand is not there. But guess what? The infrastructure will come. Either the government builds it, or the private sector builds it, or some of us build it. Right or right? It means if you play in the energy space and you can provide electricity, there is opportunity. If you can provide internet, there is opportunity. If you're in the device space, if phone is what you are selling, there is opportunity. How many of us use the phones that we call Sonos of them? Did anybody use Motorola here? Okay. Only the older people. Did anybody use Sajem here? Multilinks. These were were some devices that I used, but 80% of the people in this room did not. That's the same reason 90% of the generation coming behind you will not know what a Samsung A10 or Samsung A30 is. They won't. And so it's an opportunity for you to tap into. We have so many problems, and we've not started scratching the surface in this country that it presents a whole lot of opportunities. The question really is, what opportunity will you tap into? So AI and machine learning, data analysts and scientists, cyber security professionals, these ones are already eating good. But see, cyber security professionals in Nigeria, quote me anywhere, they've not started eating at all. Whatever you think they are earning right now, they've not started. Because we don't even have the frameworks for regulation, compliance, and enforcement yet. When those frameworks come, cybersecurity professionals will be like mini gods. Software and cloud engineers, we don't have enough. There's a lot of people coding right now, but there's not a lot of people coding the right things or coding the right way. So because the inspiration for coding is the usual teachers are reigning now, so everybody wants to be a teacher, not because they have passion for teaching, because they want to earn what teachers earn. It's the same reason why a lot of people are learning to code. They want to earn what developers earn. Which is why that problem, that gap still exists. We don't have enough people who are coding to solve a problem. So if you want to solve a problem, there's an opportunity there. Forget how many people code that you know. Digital product managers, digital marketers will still be here. AI engineers, prompting engineers will still be here. And whatever field you're in, whether you're in pharmacology, whether you're in commerce, you're in trade, you're in marketing, all of these things apply. AI applies. Data science applies. Digital marketing applies. I'll tell you some things that will never go away, no matter how much technology we get. Technical fluency. It's not going anywhere. That I understand this problem and I can solve it on a technical level. AI cannot take that away from you. Did you know that there was a coding competition where a human being beat ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini in a coding competition? There's a name for it. It was something Superman or something man. Please Google it. I've forgotten the name of that competition. But it happened earlier this year. I think it happened in Sweden. I'm not sure. But it was in Europe. A human being beat all of those AI agents in the coding competition. It was faster, it was more accurate. Why? Technical fluency. So whether it's in coding, in speaking, in writing, in business, in negotiation, AI will not take that away from you. So don't just learn to earn. Learn to understand the problem and optimize for solutions. Be in love with the problem that you're solving. Which is the second thing AI cannot take away from you, problem solving skills. Communication, creativity, strategic thinking, and most importantly, adaptability. If you have all of those skills combined, you're going to be very valuable. But there's a reason why I call them skills and not knowledge. Because you don't read them in textbooks. You learn them over time. And in the same way, entrepreneurship in the next 10 years is going to change. It's going to be digital first by default. There'll be more sales on TikTok shop than in physical stores. How many of us learned how much Amokeoge made from online sales last year? ₦1 billion. And Amala Shop made over ₦1 billion from online sales last year. I am very curious as to how much she will make in 2025 and 2026 and 2027. Because guess what? It's only going to grow. Yes, competitors will spring up and try to take a part of our market share. But can you cook the way she does? Will your still taste like ours? It will not. So there will still be craving and demand for a type of business. So, but you see, there will be more money from digital orders than in-store orders.
This is life.
It's only going to grow.
Yes, I'm just coming from there now.
Skills come for platforms and distributions, and not just physical sizes. And small teams will create massive impact using technology than larger teams. This is already happening. I mean, look at what Paystack, Flutterwave has done. And compare it to what banks did for decades before that. Those guys have done what banks cannot achieve. And banks are now playing cattle. They had POS, Paga, Moneypoint had POS before GT Bank started to make POS. And so it is only going to get better. 2, 3 of you, we don't have garages in our homes in Nigeria. In a sitting room or in a 1-bedroom apartment, in a cell phone, can really disrupt industry. I mentioned earlier that you were a little delusional, but you need that delusion to move. Be delusional about your goals, about your dreams, about your talents. Because if you are not being delusional, you will win, but you will not win. So how do we future-proof careers and business? I'm already jumping a lot of things because I know that she's going to carry king for years. 3 core pillars, right? She already mentioned technical literacy. If you're in marketing, you need to understand data, automation, and AI. There are AI tools now that do research for me. There are certain newsletters and blogs that I read every Monday before I go into the office. Because as a leader and a manager, I need to be more informed than my team members. You see, not because we're in competition, but because if I'm leading you, you should be able to teach me, right? Or I should not be completely clueless. Okay? So I try to stay abreast of information. Even information like cookies, it's not my thing. But I have to learn it because I work with a lot of Gen Z. Yep. So I have an AI that reads all my email newsletters, that goes to blog, reads them for me. This will be like about 5 different newsletters and 10 different blogs. It will read everything and I'll present all of that summary to me in just one single newsletter. And it never misses anything important. It has never missed it. That's automation for me. That same AI can read all of those newsletters and I'll write a newsletter for me based on that information. It will send it to you. You'll be so inspired. I'll be like, where is this guy getting information? Unknowing to you, I did not even know what the AI sent to you. I didn't know what information is in the newsletter that you received. But I can promise you one thing. It will be relevant to you. You will read it, you will enjoy it, you will thank me. But I didn't even see it. So you have to understand data, you have to understand AI, and you have to be able to automate it. Because the biggest benefits come when you are hands-on. Already, Perplexity has Comet browser. With Comet browser, you have the Perplexity agent that can already write content, fill out applications, apply to a job and submit the application, upload your CV without you touching the laptop. ChatGPT has ChatGPT Atlas that will do the same for you. Those are already autonomous agents that will do tasks for you. They can buy stuff for you online. The only time it will stop is when you need to put your card to pay. Just tell it, find me a Jimmy Choo size 32 color black. It will open Jumia, it will open Konga, it will open all of those things. You will see that it's doing it on your laptop. And you won't have to talk. It will not stop until it finds what you have told it to find. It's happening already. If you're in finance, you need to understand fintech, you need to understand AI. If you're in operations, you need to understand systems, analytics, and again, AI. Number 2 is the human advantage skills. No matter how much AI tries, it will never replace the human connection, the soft skills. So build that. Don't be that person who likes to just go to the office, do their job, and go home. Connect with people. Because there's a point in your career where your next opportunity will not come from job boards. It will come from people's recommendations. 90% of the people who are hired as a CEO are not hired because they have great CVs. They are hired because someone has seen their job and says, I like what you do, I want you to replicate it in my business. I'm not a CEO yet. Since I left school, I've never applied for a job that I got. The ones I applied for, I did not get. The ones I got, I did not apply for, since I left school. In fact, in school, because I'm sorry, but I don't know what it's like to apply for a job outside of school. The jobs came to me in school because I did not just focus on academics. I was always volunteering for one. I was campus ambassador for multiple companies. And my final year, they all gave me an offer. So my headache was not what will I do, my headache was where should I go? And for somebody who had that kind of opportunity, you think, I went with the one with the highest money, right? And I was earning thousands of, no, my first salary was 30,000 naira. The least offer. But it ridiculously accelerated my path. I learned. I got into rooms that I did not deserve to be. I started training C-level officers really early. I had the opportunity to grow the business to multiple states in Nigeria. You see, AI cannot do that for me. Human interaction did. And finally, continuous learning. No matter what you can do right now, it is going to become obsolete real soon. How we code today is changing. How we design is changing. How we shop is changing. And it's not just changing online, it's changing offline too. How we travel is now changing. You get to the airport, they don't even need your passport anymore. Just scan your face and your retina, they have all your information. Everything is changing. Now, Nigeria is a little slow, but we're getting there. If you go to Dubai and you are owing your hotel 1 dirham, you get to the airport, you will not pass. Because it's a central database. You will go back to that hotel and clear that debt before you can move. So it's not just going to affect your job, it's also going to affect the way you live. And so you have to be educated. You don't have to be academically sound. You have to be educated. Okay? So my 3 simple framework, and I promise this is the last part. Don't just learn randomly. Learn what the market values. Don't also build randomly. Build what people want. Learn strategically. Follow industry reports, follow the trends. Watch hiring trends. And understand where the demand is going. That's where you should position yourself. Secondly, apply before you're ready. Because one of the best ways to learn is from embarrassment. If you don't want to be embarrassed, you're not ready to start. Did you know that Elon Musk once almost cried on live TV? Because when he said he wanted to go to the moon, everybody he thought was his hero, the people who inspired that dream, all said it was impossible. And so he cried. But I've not seen someone that is more delusional than that guy. And look at how well it's spanned out to me. For the record, the difference between him and the second richest person in the world is almost about $100 billion. Do you know what $100 billion is? That means it's not what $100 billion. And that's what he's using to gap the next lesson. But guess what? He has not even started. SpaceX is going to IPO next year. And it's going to be the single most expensive IPO in the history of the world. It's going to happen. Step 3, build a future-proof work portfolio. CVs will tell people what you claim to know. Your portfolio will show that. But your portfolio is not necessarily that link that you send to people where they go and see your work. Have you heard the phrase build in public? That's what it is. Learn in public. Teach what you know, no matter how simple or small you think it is. There is something that you know that other people don't know. If you go on YouTube, you see videos on how to boil an egg. It's ridiculous to you, right? It's on YouTube, and people will watch it. Some for how ridiculous it is, others because they find exciting. But that video will rack up views and the owner will get paid. But you're there not doing any of those things because you think it's beneath you. Learn in public. Build in public. Apply before you're ready. You know you won't get the job, but you will learn from that process and you will validate what you know. More importantly, you will understand the things you don't know. That test is important. Take a bet on yourself and do it often over the next 10 years. Now, here's the hard part. The future will not wait for you to be competent. It will not wait for systems to catch up. And it is not waiting for us in Nigeria. It will also not wait for your permission. So if you rely only on traditional education, you risk being outdated. If you delay upskilling, you will reduce your options. And if you avoid change, change will still arrive, only without you. So it's not about fear, it's about responsibility. So again, I'll ask the same question I asked at the beginning. Are you preparing for the future that is coming or the past that is coming? Thank you very much for your attention.
Honestly, I really do not have an answer. I'm just scared right now. All that you said. Now my fears are now being allayed. Thank you so much for that. For a man that has imparted so much in all of us, I think it's only fitting that we give him a resounding applause. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So, is there something that will change for you going forward? Because for me, a lot is about to change. Because I'm not asking myself this question. Should I continue playing small as I've been playing? Or is it time to be as delusional as I can be? So can anyone tell me something that is going to be changing going forward? Anybody? Does anybody want to try? Something that you know within yourself that you've not been so courageous to embark on. But after this powerful presentation by this big player and realist, you're making that decision today to make a change for yourself and for others. Anybody? Just anybody? Fantastic.
All right, so I've always been skeptical about doing it for me and laying it for, like just putting out something I'm doing. in public. I'm a very skeptical person, and I really love. I like to think of myself as somebody that calculates risk. I don't really like jumping. I like to be in the safe area, to be honest. And really, I just feel like after what he said, it's like a nudge for me to oh, I know you can do. Just start before you're ready. Charge it like a Red Bull ambassador.
Thank you.
Guys, now is about to enter another realm of insight by the one and only Mr. David Edozie Enoji, Director of Strategy, GD Food Africa in Nigeria. So I'm going to listen to his demo now.
David Edozie Enoji is a transformational strategist and business leader passionate about driving innovation and purpose-driven enhancements across corporate landscape. As a director of strategy for GP Foods Africa, he leads enterprise-wide strategy, business transformation, and performance execution initiatives that are shaping the company's next phase of growth. With a career spanning over a decade across management consulting, telecommunications, and fast-moving consumer goods, David has built a reputation for translating complex challenges into actionable strategies that are used to deliver measurable results. Beyond corporate leadership, he is the founder of Seed to Save International, a global initiative focused on helping individuals break free from addiction and rediscover purpose through the intersection of spirituality, psychology, and practical life principles. David's work reflects his deep belief that strategy is not just about business outcomes, it is about transforming people, systems, and societies for lasting impact. Let's make welcome David Edozie Enoji.
I'd like you to clap for yourself as well. Okay, the last speaker was Michael. Michael, truly transformational. Sir, God bless you.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you for helping us see the future that so many of us have been scared to see. Because, you casted the vision, it was very clear. I would like to confirm if people at the back can hear me, or should I drop this mic?
No.
Now, you see, he has said everything I wanted to say, so I can just go and sit down. He has said it all. However, how this my session will be, I'm going to take a different approach. His approach covered, he took a holistic view where he showed us the future, now guided us on what we ought to do to be able to play in that future. Now, for my own session, I'm going to make it as realistic and as interaction level as possible. Every single one of you will contribute. It's not just me speaking from here. I'll come and be meeting all of you, one after the other. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
I would like to confirm how many of us are graduates here? If you're graduates, how many of us are still in school? 1, 2. Okay, how many of you graduated this year? How many of you graduated last year? How many of you are currently working? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 people are working today. How many of you working earn 6 figures? I told you it's going to be very. We are going to give the nail on the head today. Okay. Yeah, don't be shy. How many of you working today earn 6 figures? How many of you like what you are earning? It is helping you survive actually. You are comfortable, you are taking care of your family, and you are happy. Nobody. Wow. So it means that every single one of us here want to grow.
Yes.
We want to earn more.
Yes.
We want to be audacious, right?
Yes, sir.
Myself.
Okay. Just so I mentioned this, when he was speaking earlier, he did mention about Ray-Ban glasses and all. I am wearing one. So I'm not in the future. I don't want you to know. I am videoing all of you. Okay. Now, so you see, why I asked the question I asked is, if you do not understand your reality, you will not be able to plan for the future. If your reality as of today is not clear, you do not understand where you are, you don't understand why there is a need for you to make a leap, you will not grow. So you see, the organizers in their, strategic thinking gave me this topic: from local to global, transforming ideas into movements. Now, while I was thinking about it, I came to the realization that if I give you this, most of you will sleep. If I follow this the way they've written it, most of you here will go to sleep. So I changed it. I tweaked it to deliver the same output that I know they want you to have. So my topic today is, how mad are you? Write it down. How mad are you? As we are planning for the future, how mad are you? Some people are not writing. It's very obvious they don't want to be in that future. You can as well go home and just go and eat rice. I mean, it's okay. If you know you've written it, can I see your hands up? How mad are you? Good. So you see, I like to always use my story as an example, so that by the time I share my story with you, you can begin to understand why I am a very mad person. And people that I also coach and teach and mentor, many of them, a significant number of them, are mad people all over the world. Now, I want us to echo the topic today together. We're going to do it in 3. 1, 2, 3. How mad are you? Now, let's personalize it. How mad am I? Have you written it?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, when they were introducing me, they said so many people English. The strategy director, something director of GB Foods Africa, something in the telecommunication, all those things, very heavy. Even me, I was scared. Who is this? My God. But to bring it home in a way that all of us can understand. How many of us know Gino? If you've heard of the brand called Gino, can I see your hand? How many of us know mayonnaise, Bama? How many of us know Jago? Yes. How about Jumbo?
Yeah.
So, now me be their director.
Wow.
So, you are not understanding that. Now, before all this, I was with MTN Nigeria specifically. I was the manager, business operations and strategy. In fact, in a simple way, I was the business manager to the CEO of MTN Nigeria. And I was in that role for some time. So you see, the things I'm going to tell you here today are not things I read on ChatGPT or things I saw somewhere. I will tell you exactly what you need to make sure that you are Superman and you make a strategic difference in your generation. Do you understand? If you are earning enough, life is good for you, you are well educated, you don't need any of this, please, I can give you transport to go.
Yeah.
Just raise your hand. Okay, good. Now that I've given you a simple background of who I am and what I've done in the past, now I want us to now take it a little bit deeper. I want to tell you how I got my first job. Remember, I said I'm going to make it as realistic as possible. So you see, back in the day, while I was listening to our last speaker, he said something very profound. He said, sometime in the past, how companies used to recruit. There's this echo from this mic, it's not so good. Do you guys prefer I speak with my voice? Okay. Because I don't understand this microphone. Okay, so sometime in the past. Yes, one, two. Okay, let's try this. If it continues, I will just use my natural voice. So I was trying to link what the last speaker said so that it can begin to make sense. So he said something. He said, back in the day, how companies used to recruit. They go to universities, and then they start, you see ExxonMobil, Chevron, Shell, the big pharmaceutical companies, all these guys, they are going to universities. They'll go to Photo, Unilab, UI, waiting for people to graduate the first class, the 2-1s. In fact, even before you graduate, they already know they will put you immediately. They are ready to give you an upper level. Today, graduates are being churned from left, right, and center. Even polytechnics now have graduates in Nigeria. Everywhere you go, Federal College of Education, polytechnics, they are churning out graduates. And where are those companies? Gone are the days they came to look for you. Today, now you suppose go find them. Now you suppose go tell them, say, see, I can do this. I can do this. Trust me, I can deliver. Now, why I had to make that reference is because sharing my story will help you begin to understand why, for you to play in the future that the last speaker actively described, you have to be significantly marked. Because you cannot make any change. You will not be seen. The fact that you are already in Nigeria, you schooled here, you are greatly disadvantaged. Significant. A 25-year-old American and a 25-year-old Nigerian are not the same. In fact, we are likely to compare a 25-year-old American and maybe a 38, 40-year-old Nigerian. Maybe. Today, the odds are significantly stacked against you. So it is important that you understand what I'm about to say and share. So, back in the day, I just finished from school. Mind you, I didn't finish with the first class. I finished with a 2-2. God help my people. We did it. We did our best. And we graduated. Mind you, back then in school, I was a student union government president. I would have finished with the first class. But student union government president something made me, I lost focus for some time. So finally, I graduated. A good 2-1. I now sat down. We had about 60-something people that made first class from my set. And these 60-something people, that's just one school. By the time you begin to look at all the other people that made first class across Nigeria, they will not even look at my CV if I start to apply online. They will not even send me. So I was like, Father, how can I do this? Help me. Next thing, they now drafted me for youth service, and guess where they sent me? Just take a wild guess. An interesting place, Nasarawa State. Very interesting. So this is me asking God for help. They now sent me to a place where I don't have anybody there. I don't know how it works. Where do I start from? So outside the fact that Nigeria was already playing me 2-0, life was playing me 4-0. Now, back to the story. All through my growing up life, I've always wanted to look like, all these guys that wear suits, tie, carry briefcase, travel, enter plane, going to places, speaking English in different companies. That's the kind of picture I've always had for myself. Now, it was not looking like it was going to happen based on my circumstance. I now told myself, please, can you confirm you can hear me as well?
Yes.
I now told myself, David, if you follow the way going to apply online, sending CVs, it will not work. I had to sit down and I gave it a good thought. I had the ones I had applied for, they didn't call me. My friends, my dad even told me about this, my uncle that is in Abuja, that is very connected, he works with this one. I should send Uncle only pick my call again. So everything was significantly tough. I had to sit down and start to advise myself. And it was the outcome of that experience that led me, number one, that outcome made me a madman. 2, after becoming mad, I now became a combatant of other mad people. So, which is of course what is going to happen here today. I now sat down, I brought out my pen and paper, and I asked myself, David, you've always wanted to wear suit and do all of this. Where are people that wear suits and do these things? What kind of companies do they work in? Are they in the factories? I said no. Are they doing POS business? I said no. Where do they work? I realized that most of them work in places known as business management consulting companies. How many of us have heard of it? How many of us have heard of this industry? Business management consulting. Okay. How many of us have heard of PwC? KPMG? There is a very long way for us to go. Yes. You don't know business management consulting. You know it. So the big fours are PwC, KPMG, EY,
Deloitte.
Good. Now, can you tell me any other companies you know outside this four? Any other ones? Sorry? Well, okay, so back to the story. This is the kind of places, the kind of people I want to be working, right? Yeah. I wrote it down. I wrote out their addresses. I went online. That time, LinkedIn was still fresh. I searched out the name of their key people that are in those offices and those companies, who are their partners, their senior partners, who are the CEOs and the MDs. I wrote out their names. Next thing I did was, I knew that if I went to these companies and I tell them, please, I want to see XYZ. No, in fact, I will not even enter the gate. I had tried it one time. I went to CBA to that submit CV. But the police people chased me away. I ran for my life. So what did I do next? I revised the minutes. I called my friend. I hired Asadaye, the latest Prado Jeep. I want you to pay attention to this. I hired the latest Prado Jeep. Then I wore a suit. I printed my CV and I spiral binded its color. I put it in a fine brown envelope. I put it in all these very fancy laptop bags. And I said, today, if I perish, I perish. They must open this gate for me. Immediately I got to the first, it was only 2 places I went, just 2 places. Philips Consulting and PwC. How many of us know Philips Consulting? If you know, can I see your hand up? So the first place I went was PwC. The second place I went was Philips Consulting. Do you know what it meant for a youth hopper to bring out 30,000 naira to hire a private jeep? That time, now they are paying 77,000 baht. Then, guess how much that you were paying? You don't know what God has done for you. It was so sad, but I knew it was something I needed to do. I want you to be paying attention because there's a lot of learning nuggets for every single one of you. I hired this SUV. I entered, dust my suit, carry my bag. The normal building I will go to, they will pursue me. As I got there, the gate flung open.
Wow.
Good afternoon, sir. I drove it. I got to the reception. They asked me who was I here to see. Because I already know the name of their senior partners. I had done my research on LinkedIn. I told them the name of the person I was coming to see. The way they ushered me upstairs to the 5th floor, I entered it. They took me upstairs. I sat down in the waiting room. Mind you, the only thing I have achieved in my life since that time was the youth service they sent me. And that's the only thing I had achieved. As I got to that place, I sat down. Of course, because of the movies I've watched, I crossed my leg, opened my suit. I already know how to do those things. Now, they told me that, because as at the time I came, the senior partner then, Victor, till today is my mentor. They told me that he went, that he's going to be back soon. I told them to tell him that I am here waiting. So in their head, they thought maybe this guy came from NNPC or maybe from somewhere. So they called Victor that was on his way somewhere. Victor, his driver, turned back and came back to the office. When Victor came, he came and met me. Hi, sir. I'm Mr. Victor Mba. He grabbed his seat, sat down, opened the suit. My brothers and sisters, I brought out my suitcase. I told him, my name is David. I know that the things I'm going to say now will make you laugh. But please give me 1 minute of the time, sir. He said, okay. He now became very curious. I brought out my CV in an envelope. He was still thinking, what is this? As he was opening it, when he saw my CV, he looked at me. Are you here for a job? I said, yes. That I have a lot to work. Before I finished, I started laughing. He asked me again, are you here for a job? I said, yes. He laughed again. That's the most hysterical laugh I've ever seen in my entire life. Then, when he was done laughing, he went to my CV. Because there's nothing there. It's just my IT places and my youth service. Nothing was there. He now kept the CV by his side and looked at me. Asked me a series of questions, where I'm from and all those things. And then asked me, what gave me the mind to do what I said? I just told him that I had made up my mind that I cannot fail my generation and I have a lot to offer. I believe I have a lot of problems to solve and I want to be part of your organization. This man told me something that has remained with me till forever, and I want to tell you too, if you will listen. He said, David, that this is the first time in his life he has seen someone, show such faith and, acted in this manner. And that in the world of business management consulting, that perception is reality. And because of what I have done, that day, I was going to be made an offer for a senior business analyst. That day. This is someone that has not done internship in a business management firm before. If you check my CV and my LinkedIn, you will understand. So I entered into business management consulting as a senior business analyst. Just because I acted in the way I did. And that statement he made, he told me, David, one of the key things they look out for in consulting is the ability to create perception, the ability to create make-believe, the ability to create what people like, create a structure, something that can make people be like, yes, this is what we need. And you completely exemplify that with this attitude of yours. And on that note, if that was the head of HR, called HR there and there, your brother that was sent to Nasarawa got a job. Why did I share this story with people of God? You see, a significant number of young people today, I really don't like that noise. It's really distracting me, honestly. a significant number of young people today, especially the Gen Zs, they have a consumer mentality. They don't have a problem-solving mentality. Or this microphone every day. Okay. Like I was saying, a significant number of young people do not have a problem-solving mentality. Most of them are waiting for people to hand them or to give them handout. Oh, the country failed me. Mind you, the time I did this, the jobs that we are raining then were if you are not in the civil service, like your papa gets somebody, all this connection, or maybe you are related to some of the people that run big businesses or maybe the banks. But I knew that the odds were stacked against me. And I had to sit down. I critically analyzed my life. You know, I started by saying, most people do not know how to do reality check. I am now doing the reality check for you. The check is the fact that you are a Nigerian in this world today. You're already on 4-0. Like the global and you are 4. Global is 4, you are 0. So what do you need to catch up? If you watch soccer very well, if you watch football, they're playing you 4. You're already at second half. You need double the effort of what you are supposed to have put in the first half to reclaim what is truly yours. Why I'm sharing this is today we have a lot of young people that want to, we want to do this, I want to change my world, I want to be this. But you are not mad. You are not audacious. It is not in you. Any small things, I beg, I don't even like stress. Clock it. You don't have money, you are clocking it. You don't know what is happening, you are, what are you clocking? You don't know your next step. The world we live in today, a significant number of young Nigerians are waiting for somebody to come and hand them, oh, okay, see your kid, you can have it. Nobody is handing you anything. You have to take the horn by the bull, not even the bull by the horn. Take it. Take it. When the last speaker was speaking, there was something else he said that struck me. You see, most people think when they hire CEOs, they usually hire, please, one house. When they hire CEOs and all these top execs, what they are looking for is not how they speak English or how much, no. They're looking for 2 things. The first one is this person able to deliver? Are they problem solvers? Are they execution mode activated? And 2, very important, how visible are you? If I was not visible, Mr. Victor would never have given me a job. Perception is the reality of the world of today. In the world that, all this agentic AI, all these interesting things are happening, how visible are you? What kind of problems can you solve? I'm not going to go into technical, like I stated earlier. The last speaker did justice to it. All the slides I prepared and in English, I've packed it. Now is real life conversation. You don't want this as much as you think you do. That is why. I want you to think about my life, how the kind of courage it took me to take almost triple of my salary, double of my salary then actually, of what NYSC were paying me. I took it. I rented a vehicle that even 3 years into my life, I would never have thought of being in that kind of car. I rented it. And then I did just a little research. Today, many young people don't know how to do research. You don't know how to find, you tell people the only thing they know is TikTok. TikTok and Instagram. If it's not on TikTok and Instagram, it is not anywhere. Or next thing, they use their unpaid version of ChatGPT. What is this? But that's the truth. and you want to take the world by storm, who dash you? Who give you? Don't forget, if you're 25 in Nigeria, a 25-year-old American or Canadian, not be your mate, una no dey the same level. The kind of access they have, the kind of network, the kind of way they think, the kind of way that the way they see the world is different from the way you see the world. And on that note, you must be curious. A significant part of what makes you mad is that curiosity defines your path. You ask questions. You ask intelligent questions. Today, like I stated earlier, can someone tell me the 5 key brands that my company offers? 1.
Chino.
Can you scream it?
Chino.
The second one?
Mango.
Third one?
Jango.
The fourth one?
Jango.
How many times Jago? The fourth one? Let's start again. The first one?
Chino.
Second one?
Mayonnaise.
No. Mayonnaise is a second.
Okay.
Bama.
Baba.
Third one?
Jumbo.
Before you even confuse me. You know, so these 4 key brands that my company currently offers. You see, what shows that you are ready for the global stage is you're not just thinking Nigeria. You are thinking about Africa. You're thinking about globally. You're thinking about how can we take this product to the global stage. Now let's bring it home. Are there problems that you have identified within your existing hemisphere? Are there problems? Are there challenges that you have seen? Have you been able to critically think about that problem? Another thing as I am going to say, and I want you to take note of this. You see, and another key reason why the odds are stacked up against our generation is that many people think social media and the advent of these phones we have is so much of a great thing. Yes, it is great, but there are significant disadvantages. Today, a young person cannot actually think. Why can't they strategically think? Do you know the level of distraction that you are carrying on your hand? Do you know the depth of the distraction that this device contains? You wake up in the morning, TikTok. You go to bed, Instagram. The next day, TikTok. You cannot think. You cannot think. You are not able to make any logical choice. Please confirm you can still hear me.
Yes,
If there is anything you are taking out of this conversation today, I want you to leave here today knowing that if you have to be mad to make a difference in this world today, you have to be audacious. You are not expected to do things the normal way and you are expected to get a different result. If you must thrive in the world of today and the future that has been described for us, the AI, agentic AI, generative AI, mention them. If you're going to take the world by storm, if you're going to develop ideas that will change the world, you must be mad. You must want it like the air you breathe. By now, I expect every single one of you here to move to make sure you have the paid version of ChatGPT on your phone. How much is it? $20. Many of you, the guys here, some of you, you will carry babe out and spend 40,000 in restaurant. You can't do ChatGPT. If it is not free, you will not do. These are how you learn. The last speaker also said a couple of things about how he's leveraging AI to articulate articles and then read it in a way that he can understand. How are you going to take the world by storm if you don't know these things? You don't subscribe to them. You don't use them. Remind me again what our topic is. Let's say it together. 1, 2, go.
Our mother.
What do you mean, Let's go. 1, 2, go.
Our mother.
When you leave here, the only thing I want you to be thinking about, question everything. They tell you, oh, nobody usually does this, I beg. Let's just do our own. My company, we sponsored, how many of, I'm sure so many of you will not know, but 2023, Hilda Bass's first cookathon. We funded it. We called her, sat down, we sold the vision to her, and she did it. How do you think we came up with that idea? This year, we replicated the same script, just tweaked it here and there. Wow, Guinness World Record. What record are you setting? What record are you planning to set for your own life? If you're 25 here, like I said, you and your colleague outside here are not the same. You have to do more. If I go through some of your LinkedIn, some of your Instagrams, I'm sure all I will see is all these comedian skit people. You're just laughing, laughing away your life. If I go through your explore page, if I take all your phones one after the other, and I go through your explore page on Instagram, I go through your explore page on TikTok, what I see will tell me the kind of future you will have. It is as simple as that. That's why I usually laugh when some men will tell me, each time I open my explore, it's only naked women. What's even happening now? Wait till they work now. Why? Yes. AI will give you what you concentrate on. There are pages that talk about entrepreneurship, that talk about strategic thinking, what you need to do every day. When you wake up, I don't sleep with my phone in my room. It's on purpose. Once it is 9, I'm back home, I'm not doing, my phone sleeps in the other room. So that I can be able to think. In the world of AI, the people that are going to win are people that can think. In fact, companies will be paying people stupendous amounts of dollars to just be able to think, because we need to train the AI. This is my phones. It's there for another room so that I can think. I can be by myself and strategically think out output, think out delivery. What you watch, what you consume. Enough of laughing. Leave all those comedian TikTok people and all those Instagram people and start thinking, so how can I make a difference? How can I be mad? How can I be audacious? How can I take my word by storm? What can I do to add value in this new dispensation? Else, another 5-10 years will come. You'll then be like, oh my God, why, when, how did I lose track? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
If you're super excited, can I hear you say, yeah, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Another yeah, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any question for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please ask.
Sir, thank you so much for the So the thing is, are you getting mad as well?
Are you
getting mad as
Mother. It's a very good question. So he asked some people at the back. He asked, are you getting madder as you are now? And the answer is yes. It's never enough. Like I told you, I was at MTN. MTN will not hire you if they don't think you have sense. And then I was in MTN, I helped them do a lot of crazy stuff. I was pushed to where I am now. I'm helping them do a lot of far crazier stuff. So I am mad, and I will not expect to ever stop being mad. If Elon Musk, the maddest of all of us, is still mad and thinking about being more mad by next year, like the last speaker said, when Tesla goes, for some of us that don't know, SpaceX, an IPO, who knows what it means? An IPO. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what we are not thinking. An IPO, graduates are here, they don't know the meaning. If I knock you, I need you just That's what I'm saying. You just heard this word down. What makes me know that you can think is when I leave, you go online and search about this. What is an initial public offering? What is an IPO? How does it connect to the world of business? That is how to think. Not what content creators are doing online. If all of you become content creators, who will pay you? Who will farm the land? Who would create these companies? Who will be the CEOs of these companies? A lot of young people, all they are saying is, I'll be a content creator. I will do, let all of us be doing content. Now, how you go talk? Who will pay you? Who will run the brands? Who will run this company? Who will fund the ideas? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Any other question? Please. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Kennedy.
Okay.
I'm an architect. Okay, I have a question. When you have an idea and you want to present it to maybe a big company, and see a gap, or you presenting it and it is not taken seriously, or not paying attention you want. So how else do you present it to the company? Like companies don't know, like just doing like what's happening, you present these ideas and it's not working. So how do you present it?
Okay. Okay, I can actually answer you from here. So you see, there's another, if not because we're constrained for time, there's a lot I would have wanted to share. You see, that story I told you of my life should have helped you, everybody understand how to find a problem or define a problem, how to solve that problem, and most importantly, how to consistently iterate and make sure that you are improving. So you see, to answer your question directly, my dear brother, first things first. When you sit down, that problem that you want to solve for them, how have you documented it? Have you thought it through? Is it foolproof? If your answer to all of this is yes, there is a key part of the solution you are seeking that you've not yet been able to grasp. It is your job to be visible. It's not the client's job. It is your job. So let's assume, for example, you want to make a pitch to MTN. MTN is a global, like, is a multinational. You can't just wear shirt and tie and be like, oh, God, I'm here to see the CEO. I have a solution that will solve all your problems. Security will beat you. Like, you go collect beating. So how? After you have identified the problem, you've defined what it is, you've even solved it, you need to package it. You see, packaging is a course I teach. My mentees, I teach them how to package. Most of the people that are going to end up ruling the future are people that understand perception and packaging. How to package things, how to package an idea, how to package yourself. So that packaging is what you need to understand. You need to package yourself, package it, package the document that you are proposing, and then you need to go online and find who are the key people that I need to submit this to. Mostly, the solution you might want to solve might not be the CEO that needs to solve. It might be maybe it might be something that focuses on the enterprise division or something that focuses in another division. It might not be the CEO. But what most people do is they write amazing proposal, they go and drop it. Let me tell you, most of the things we drop in those drop boxes, they don't see it. They don't. It does not even pass through his office. Once a 50 person will just read and use and perhaps you. That's it. So you have to understand who are the key stakeholders. What do they require of me? If it requires you packaging a thing, the way I went to go and find 30,000, rented a Prado SUV, it is packaging. It's the act of creating perception. It was what enabled the security people to open the gate for me. If I came there with all that reminds me. How many of us watched this movie by Kemi Adetiba, How to Kill a Monkey? If you watch How to Kill a Monkey, wow, even people say, I know they watch movies. Let me tell you, the world we are about to enter is not enough to just read books. You need to watch movies. You need to watch documentaries. You need to go on YouTube and watch these things. There is no business movie that have been produced in this world that I've not watched. Mention anyone. Even the ones that are about to be produced. I've watched Suits 2 times. How many of us know Suits?
Wow.
Twice. I've watched it.
5 times.
So you cannot say you want to take the world by. You need to. How did I know that you need to wear suits? If you want to sit down, you open your. Nobody taught me in photo. They don't teach it in photo. We are carrying board going
enunciated. We need to be fully electrified to take charge of any industry we want to go to, not to the next thing. Thank you very much. And global media and ambassador or Kila and Kike. Thank you so much. So now to our next item. I want to give us the secret to becoming the best version of ourselves, to unlocking the next opportunity. You see that job that person that is online, that person like, they say, I want to play. So how do people achieve this? This young innovator is about to give us the secret, the key to open that door. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished audience, if your hands are not too tired and you're ready to receive this gift, let's give a resounding applause for the one and only Online Group. Online Music.
Sorry.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Once again, my name is Oladimeji. I am a system administrator and cloud infrastructure engineer. And I'm also AI researcher with a lot of publication in the international space. And aside that, let me say I took break from technology currently, and I'm currently appointed as a senior special advisor to the state governor, working at International Leadership Academy, where I work with the deputy governor of the state with interact on technology and policies that affect the state. So when my other was talking the other time that it was fine for the traffic rule or not paper. So I was smiling and saying, yes, we need to meet up the revenue targets so that we can, thank you very much. You have the award. Thank you to the speakers so far. In fact, it was a very insightful session, and I'm happy to listen to everybody. And I hope that by the time I'm done with the short minute that I have, we are able to gain something. And also, in the audience, it's a very senior colleague of mine. I see her smiling. Hello, Ramat. Are we connected? Yes. So, how do I go through this short time? Well, I'll be fast. All right, so I'm representing today Oreo Apolayo. He was a senior colleague of mine. He's supposed to be here, but due to unforeseen circumstances, he could not be here. He's the father of Red 5, but here I'll be speaking on his behalf. All right, so how do you handle this? Okay, let me just keep going. So what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about emerging tech trends, AI, blockchain, and sustainable innovations. We have been hearing AI, saying use AI. A lot of people know that there's AI, there's a lot of that. How are we using it? What are we using it for? What impact is use of the AI that we have? A lot of people use the AI for random stuff, make research, find information, generate pictures, and all of that. But now we want to start talking about how we can use it for our own work, and so that we can come up with sustainable innovations, right? So I want to talk about the AI first technical, the AI first tech stack. Before now, when everybody's talking about tech, we are talking about going to tech schools, taking courses online, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all sorts of that. However, my CTO said something when we were working on that. He said, we have moved from the era of where people that write codes are the brain behind the organization. We call them laborers because they are just people they are just laborers. They are not the architecture behind the system. So what you need to move on from is just writing code to being the brain behind the product. You need to start thinking of how can we come up with products that is going to provide innovations, that is going to solve problems, that is going to bring about ease of life, whether in agriculture, in health, or in any section. But you don't need to know how to code. You don't need to know how to write HTML in detail. You don't need to start worrying about JavaScript and all of that. All you need to do is vibe coding. What do we call vibe coding? We are interacting with AI, we are doing prompting AI to give you stuff and bring it out like that. That's what we call vibe coding. But however, it does not just mean that someone who has finished from pharmacy, like our drug discovery doctor or chemist, would just come up today and just pick up a laptop and say, okay, because I have an idea, I want to build an EMR, electronic medical record, and I can, detect where there is drugs and all of that, and start coding. You need some basic foundation knowledge, right? And that's why I always advise. You can take course, you can take courses, you can go to tech schools. You just need minimum of 1 month, 2 months, depends on how smart and quick you can grab things. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you are good. The rest lies in your hand. And how does it lie in your hand? Sorry? How does it lie in your hand? It's by how you think. So we move from just coding with our brain, writing our code, to what? The logic layer. That is, we are using tools that are AI tools to code. I'm going to use an example of Cursor. Cursor is an AI tool where we use to code. It's an IDE. For people that are developers or into the IT world, what do we call IDE? Is where we write our code, basically, for our code to run. Let me use that term because I've noticed that we don't have a lot of tech people here. It's the platform where we write our code, where we do our testing before we deploy the application, right? So these days, you don't just need to use VS Code to code again. All you need to use is something like Cursor or GitHub Copilot. And I'm going to quickly run something through for us now so that we can see how this thing works. Say, for example, I'm going to go back to our drug discovery chemist. She comes up to the idea that, okay, I want to build an application, right? So let me just let me say this. So this is a Cursor application. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to do one or two things now. So let me just open this folder. Sorry, we are in the workshop, so we have to do something just random. I hope people don't disappoint us. So this is the folder here. No, take notes. I'm not expecting you to grab everything at the moment here, right? That is why you need to make further research. So I just want to show you how it works in real time, right? So I come to this chart here, and I'm telling it, I want you to come up with login page for an EMR application, or maybe something else I think of. So let me prompt it. So you can see what's going to happen now. I've prompted this guy, which is the Cursor application, to run this for me. So you can see that generated the file, which is the index.html, and it's generating the code file for me. So notice this page. This is a folder which I've created from my laptop before, and watch what's going to happen. After it's currently generating this code for this login page, let's see what happens. Why the noise? It's still writing the code. It's done with the first page, which is the HTML code. You can see. I hope you are seeing from the back. Sorry, sir, I think you might need to excuse our people. So this is the index.html file, right? Like what I was saying before, the HTML, CSS, and so on and so forth. So it's currently generating the CSS file as well, which is the style.css. When it's done, we'll see what happens as well.
can see that it's done as well. Now we have a style file as well generated. Now it's coming up with our JavaScript file. So let's see what happens as well. So we have our JavaScript file generated already. So it's coming up with our document files just to tell us how to use the application. Now, it's done, right? It's trying to check whether there's error, whether there's any other thing and so forth. It gives us how to use it. For those that don't know how to use it, it tells you what you need to do and so on and so forth. Now, thank you. So all our files has been generated, right? So I'm going to go back to my folder. You can see it has automatically saved into this folder. Before now, I didn't have this files inside of here, but as my cursor was generating them, it was saving them automatically into my folder. So let's see what happens. I just go to this now and I run the application. Let's see what it gives us. Can you see that? In less than 5 minutes, I have just generated an EMR system. I don't think did we use up to 5 minutes? Sorry, I'm not sure we used up to 5 minutes to do this. And this is login page of an EMR system. I can go back to that place and tell him that, okay, young guy, when I say young guy, I mean the cursor. I don't like the blue color that I use in the CSS page. Change it for me. Instead of EMR, change this. All I need to do is to just prompt it, right? It's going to make the changes for me. All right, when I finish the login page, I want to do the landing page for me as well, and so on and so forth is going to happen. What does that mean? She could do this if she can handle cursor, if she knows the basic plus minus in coding. 3 months into IT school, she knows that, okay, if I need my application to run, I need HTML file, I need CSS file, I need JavaScript file. Okay, this is what's happening. When you get the error, what do I need to do? You keep back to your AI tools to prompt it and so on and so forth. That is the way we are now. We call it the AI first stack. We do need to start doing also. That's why I call saying that if you believe that you know how to code, you are just a laborer. If you cannot think and come up with solutions and ideas, you cannot do anything. I need to be fast. So another one we have is the AI workflow, the OODLU. So what do I call this OODLU is that I call it the observe, orientate, divine, and act. Right? Observe, orient, decide, and act rather. So you want to come up with something, I need a CRM for solar vendor, or AI should suggest the best database schema for you. AI should generate boilerplate codes for you. You will need to debug cases. All you need to do is that when you know the problem, you observe the problem, then when it gives you the output, you observe it. You try to understand what the code has given you. Is it giving me the right thing? Do I need to do something else? Then you decide, okay, this is what I want. Oh, this is not what I don't want. All right, you do it again. So when you do it, you tell it, okay, I don't want this. So you need to learn how to feed the AI the right documentation so that it doesn't hallucinate. I'm sure there are some times when you're using AI to start saying rubbish because you probably didn't prompt it properly. You didn't give it the right information. So if you don't give it the right information, it's going to hallucinate. So that is where you need to go and learn the basic foundation of what you want to do. If you don't know anything, you cannot prompt anything. So when I see people saying don't use AI, AI is going to make you normal, AI is going to make you not be able to think. I tell people, if you don't have sense, you cannot use AI. Because you need to give it the right information for you to give it the right output. So, the blockchain, that is the real world asset sheet. Before now, people used to own land, people still own land. You know, if I say this in front of the people that do real estate, that's going to beat me. So, real estate, you know, all of that, houses, it's moving, right? Everything has now been tokenized, right? They have been tokenized into tangible assets, right? So, why does this matter? It means that if I have, like, say, $2,000 in token, I could sell a part if I need money. But if you have the land, say, for example, here in Lekki, and you need to need money for something, you might not be able to use it because you cannot sell a part of the land or maybe a minute quantity of the land. So that is where blockchain has come. And what does blockchain do for us? It makes sure that everything, there is integrity. Blockchain is basically when we have blockchain, when we have Web 2, Web 3, and all of that, it is basically data integrity. We want to be sure that what we have is consistent, it remains the same as we have left it, because the way blockchain works is that it duplicates data in different parts of the places, in different parts of the world and country, and it does not change. So when you hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm the block 3, Web 3, a lot of people don't even understand it all. And that's why you need to make research on how you can benefit from it. Your AI can help you with that as well. So, like I said, let me skip this. So, the sustainability. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right. So the sustainability, that is the refined resolution. What does refined means? It means regenerative finance. What can we do? It basically means that we are using DeFi incentives to solve climate problems. How do we make money from climate? So some of these career paths that we can look at, we can research it further, is carbon developers, right? You are verifying carbon credit using blockchains. What does it mean? You can build sensors such that when people plant trees, you know, there are a lot of these projects are being funded by the United Nations, right? You build sensors that measures that, okay, when people plant trees, it measures as the trees are growing. Then when you capture this data, you are paying the person that planted the tree, maybe the farmers and all of that, or whoever owns the tree, in tokens. So those are what blockchain can do. Another one is energy data analyst, circular economy designer. Because of time, I won't be able to go deep, but I expect that we're taking notes and we can make further research on them. Now, the convergence, building a super app. So let's look at how we can merge AI, IoT, and blockchain together. So think of an idea. Say, for example, you want to come up with, I see that, right?
Just a moment.
1 more minute. You want to build up a solar power startup in Nigeria, right? What do you want to do? You are going to AI, predict weather or sunlight pattern to optimize battery usage. It tells you everything that you need to know. Then you come up with IoT. You know what IoT are? Internet of Things. Internet of Things is, say for example, you are not at home, you have something that you can use to control your refrigerator, your fridge, your power light from whatever you have. Connecting from internet, your CCTV. So you use sensors to track energy production, and also where does blockchain comes in? You can use it to automate payments such that nothing changes. There is trust and integrity that what you are doing is safe and secure. Now, we also need to consider the ethical framework that is there, right? Does the AI training data include African context? So when you are feeding your AI, when you are interacting with it, you need to check whether this thing we are doing, does it consider African context? That's why, because sometimes these AI tools are always biased, and it's one of the findings that I've gotten even from my research, that AI can be biased, especially when you don't train it with Africa-based data. I recently did a research which I presented in a conference, and in that research, we tested it on international data, and the question they were asking is that, how can we use it in Nigeria? So you need to always check that this thing I'm doing with my AI, does it apply to Nigerian context? Accountability. If the smart contract fails, who is responsible? You cannot arrest AI, of course. So you need to know the law that are behind it. So transparency. Is this sustainable for data or open source or even the PDF? So the rule is that you don't just build black boxes. What does black box mean? Do not build what you do not understand because you have AI tools. You need to still prompt it more to ensure that you understand what you are prompting and what you are trying to do. And that's why you need to seek knowledge and make research. So what you need to do right now, maybe you do, maybe you do not, but you need to make research. What you need to do, you can try to install this custom application, try to build application out of it. Blockchain, you can set up MetaMask wallets, transact on testnet. But what I'm going to say, before you do all of these things, I'm going to share a link next so that you can look at these resources. I can share it later on so that you can make more findings on how you can use these tools. AI, blockchain, they are the future. And if you do not grab it now, trust me, you are going to miss out. And whatever it is that you are doing, your line of job, AI has made everything easy. But the major part of it is you to not just be the user. End user, what I mean by end user is that you are just prompting and getting output. You need to be part of the development, and that is where you are really going to secure the funds. There are lots of fundings that are going on in AI right now. And when I say fundings in millions, in billions of dollars. So the earlier you get into it, the better for you. And I think that'll be all for now. So I think the next action will like to
And that, ladies and gentlemen, one of Oladipo or Habib, please note your question, please. Thank you so much. A system administrator, an AI researcher, and senior special advisor to Governor of Lagos State. Please give him a resounding round of applause for that wonderful contribution. Now I know that I'm ready to make my dollars. In fact, they always say AI is the next, is the new oil. Now I know I want to make my own dollars and currency. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next woman I'm about to call is a woman after my heart. When I go through LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is where I play, on a normal day, and I just checked on this one, I realized that she's not just focused on the technical aspect of do blockchain, that is important, do AI, be part of the development, make the dollars, she's telling you, focus on the ethical aspect of all these things. It is okay for you to learn this thing, but what is the ethical side of, are you asking the ethical question, when we make all of this AI available, how are we protecting our data? How are we protecting our privacy? Do you know that there's a digital like footprint of you as a person? You have a digital version online. I don't know if you know. My guy, I'm asking you, my lovely brother, please, what's your name? I want to engage you personally. What's your name? Ismail. Ismail, do you know that there's another version of Ismail online? Like, do you know? There's another version of you. That's the Ismail. So these people, they're really collecting a lot of data about you. And every day that you go online, you agree to terms and conditions of all of these things. You're telling them who you are. And they're making billions and billions just because you are just agreeing to those things that you're not reading about. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the exquisite, the delectable Chisom. Are you there? Are you with me? Please come forward, man. I really need to meet you. You inspired me both online and now seeing you physically. I know that there's a lot in store for everyone. There's a lot to take home for everyone. Let's hear what happens.
So, Anif is a product manager at IATA with deep expertise in building scalable digital products, leading cross-functional teams, and driving product strategy from discovery to launch. Her work spans fintech, health, and social impact, with a focus on creating systems that are intuitive, efficient, and truly aligned with user needs. She has participated in and won multiple hackathons, building solutions tailored for the African market. Her experience includes rapid problem solving, product visioning, and collaborating with engineers and designers under tight timelines. Her hackathon projects tackle challenges between free, sustainability, and financial inclusion, earning recognition for clear execution and strong product thinking. Known for her structured approach, analytical mindset, and ability to translate complex problems into actionable product roadmaps, she brings ownership and discipline to everything she joins. She is passionate about creating products that deliver measurable value, uplift underserved communities, and push the boundaries of what technology can achieve. Make room for Chisom and Yefuna.
Where's the applause, please?
Thank you for that one introduction. Yes. So we are now in the school of mad people, right? Okay. So they've told us about how AI is impacting the world today and also the future. They have also told you about how you should be delusional and how you should be mad. Now, the thing is, they have told you all these real of things. For someone that wants to embark on that journey, how are you going to approach it? I recall earlier during the start of the section, they asked some of us, what dreams do we have? What startups do we want to build? I heard someone talk about education. I also heard somebody talk about connecting people. What was your idea again? Delivery. Yes, exactly. Just a backstory. If you look at me right now, I am wearing a different outfit. This is not the outfit I planned to wear for today. Why is this important? I sent an outfit to a tailor, and the tailor destroyed the outfit that I was supposed to wear.
Yes.
Now, with respect to my wig, the same thing. Okay, thank you. Alright. That was also the same thing that happened to me. Now, if you look around, some of us came here with both. Some of us, in terms of delivery, there are also many delivery apps. But have you thought of artisans, right? You want to get somebody or a plumber. Which app do you use to get that person? You want to get an electrician. Which app do you use to get that person? So after experiencing that process yesterday, I was like, if there was an app that I could use to get this particular person, I would know that, okay, this person has a rating, and the person will be able to deliver whatever it is, and I wouldn't have experienced it. So instead of wearing a trouser today, I'm going to be wearing a gown. So that's basically it. So we have dreams. So my whole talk is going to be about transforming this vision into what changing solutions. If you look at Airbnb today, they allow users to be able to rent their houses. Now, before they started or when they were starting, someone would say, why would a stranger want to rent my house from me? If you look at boats today, they allow you to enter a car or a cab and drive to a location where you want to be. Now, before or when they are starting, someone would be like, oh, I should enter a car with a stranger. How wouldn't I fear that this person isn't going to kidnap me? You say you want to look around you again, you hear on Twitter people say Lagos is smelly, Lagos is this, there are so many waste everywhere. But if you go to the developed world, developed countries, you see people transforming those waste. I was watching on YouTube where someone transformed clothes, different jeans into bags that were so beautiful. And these are waste we see everywhere. So these are visions, what people take up. Some people are chefs, they have ideas, they want to establish those ideas, pitch it to the world. These are kind of like frameworks to help you to be able to transform that your vision, gain clarity, and deploy. So before I proceed, I would want to understand the audience in the room. Do we have aspiring techies or people already in tech? Like here, aspiring techies people already. That's all we have here. Right. So when we have a problem, say I want to develop that app that I thought of, right? I want to be able to connect people to different artisans. I have to define the problem. This is what I am facing. Now I have to understand our users. I am saying I want to bring in electricians. How well do they understand technology? What particular part of technology or set am I going to give to them? I will know now that I won't go to start telling these people to download my mobile app. I have to build a web platform for them because that's what they'll be able to access more. Now, I'll have to also shape the vision. This is what I want to build. If you remember what the first speaker said about education, when he talked about the economic forum report, he said something about bricklayers. Even I also read that report. You see farmers, you see so many people doing vocational studies. Now, if I want to build an app like that, how am I going to shape my vision around what those people expect? That means going to the market, looking for their pain points. Some people might be fearful. Me, sometimes I have to ask my friend, do you know this electrician or do you know this person? Because I'm very wary of maybe you come to my house and the next day I'm seeing that something is missing. Because you might just be busy with something else and somebody is repairing your lights. You won't know that, oh, they took something that belongs to you. So the whole idea is going to revolve around how safe can you make that your app? So the ratings of that app, just like Uber or Bolt we see today, is now dependent on what people's recommendations is, how safe it is, and the rest of them. Now you say you want to build a delivery app. You have friends around you, and those friends, if you don't have, let me just say you're not the CEO, those friends are your stakeholders. You talk to them. Oh, I want to build this app. What do you think? you outline most of those problems and you talk to them, they should be able to tell you, okay, this is an angle to go, this is an angle not to go. So in terms of aligning with the stakeholders, we have both the internal and the external stakeholders. So the internal stakeholders now are now the people you actually know. That's like people within the company. But the external stakeholders are your users, your investors, depending on any angle. I don't want to make this thing solely about tech because we heard about Hidabashi and she did her Guinness Book of Record. She was able to identify that, okay, nobody have won this cooking competition in Nigeria before. I want to do this. Now she understood the Nigerian market, that's like Twitter, that if I'm able to do this and call people to come and eat rice, they will come now. So she was able to understand and then she shaped her vision, aligned with people, and then she determined the success metrics. When you are building something, what are the success metrics? Is it based on activation? Is it based on retention? What is it based on? We are seeing the whole Spotify rap where people were talking about, oh, the number of music, my growth rate. Me, I was 19 years old. I don't know how old. So I was there. So we are seeing what are they basing that? They are basing that on FOMO. That's like the fear of missing out. They are also basing it on retention. Because if I come and I see people doing their Spotify rap, I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss out on this next time. Let me go on this music bus and listen to music so that next time they should be able to track most of these things. So they are retaining me as well as activating me. So these are basically part of it. Now I have a plan of what I want to achieve, right? We have spent so much time, so I'll be running with this thing, right? So I need to create a strategy of it. I work at Mayaza, and most times people talk about fintechs. Recently, we built a POS system. Now, the normal POS system that we see right now is you send somebody 5,1 in Naira, they give you 5,000, right? But then we say there's this tax stuff coming up, compliance is coming up next year, and so many people have cryptocurrencies in their bank account, their Bybit, and the rest of them. So how can we help these people? So what we said is, with our POS, what you should be able to do is you send a cryptocurrency to somebody and they give you cash. So if you have those cryptos stored in it, we identify those problems that people would now be using cryptocurrencies instead of cash by next year because of the whole set and everything that is coming up. So we were able to build for this market. Now think again. If you look around you, you see so many freelancers being able to send USD. But how often have you seen an app or a system that helps you to transfer money to Kenya, Ghana, Senegal, and the rest of them? I even have a friend that lost a job as a graphic designer because she couldn't find a way to receive money from Senegal. These are the core problems we are experiencing in Africa. You hear of coffee, like people are drinking coffee, you think, oh, it's a white man's stuff. But this is something that was built in Africa, like is in Ethiopia, that's like the home source of coffee. But then because there are no traditional systems in terms of what connects people, language and money, right? We tend to lose sight of what we actually have. So if we have built a system, because okay, that's what we are actually building, for you to be able to transact across African countries, you should be able to travel to those countries, see what they have to offer, and also transform your business ideas. That way we are able to grow. So that's basically about how strategy ties into your planning. Then you have something that you have planned. Because you are working with a group of people, you have to break this down, right? You break it down into stories. When Ope was building their app, they did not just say, okay, let us build Ope. They first of all say, we want to make transaction easier. We want to make sure that, okay, so people get cash back when they do their transaction. These were built into stories, right? And those stories are designed into epic so that when you are giving it to somebody, say you want to assign to your sister, to your friends to work on, they can be able to work on it seamlessly. So you also have to assess your requirements and user impact. What business value does this hold for you? What is the feasibility? If I want to build I was thinking of building a waste management system. Actually, you heard that I've won over 7 years hackathon. So the last hackathon I applied for, I pitched a waste management system where, so I was going to throw my bin one day and I saw a guy like around the bin trying to pick up plastics. Now, what does this guy want to do? He wants to go and sell most of this plastic to companies so that they will give him money. So why not remove that middleman around that plastic or waste management, where somebody comes to our app, right? If there is a you upload a video or a picture of like what you have, and others buy the plastic from you, just like the way Temu offers services, but you now you are the person being marketing it. Then I thought of it and I was like, okay, this is cool. But then I could also need a hardware. But remember, I talked about epic stories. There are things that should come before another, right? So I thought of, okay, what if I place a system like just like the way do we know vending machines?
Yes.
Exactly. What if I place a vending machine on the road now? So when people are passing, they can actually put that plastic in it, and then. But then I thought of it. We are in Nigeria, and people are likely to go and see my machine. People are likely to go and see my machine. They are likely to do so many things. So when I was thinking of it, I was like, okay, that machine should be something that is not movable. And I would have to work with a stakeholder, which is the government, because they have to know, okay, the District of Lagos, there are local government chairmen and the rest of them. So they have to. So another thing is, the machine should not print out money, because if it's removing money for you, just like the way vending machine gives us something, people will go and break it now. So what I should do is, it should be able to generate a code for them, so that when they go back to my app, it tracks that they have actually deposited a particular waste. So this is actually the system thinking when it comes to solving problems. So in terms of software development lifecycle, we have talked about planning. That's like the planning phase where, okay, I have something to build. Now we are now working with the design. How would this look like? And when it comes to design, I spoke about responsible AI. So let's say in a section I had last 2 weeks, let's say I am trying to build a solution around AI. The last speaker talked about black box, where I recall Amazon having a problem where people applied for some jobs, but people applied for jobs, but it was selecting male participants over female participants. So what caused this? It was because the AI was trained with male data. Is it that they did it intentionally? No, right? So in terms of black box, you have to make sure that whatever it is you build tells you the reason why something is happening. So if the AI was able to tell them that, okay, it's because this has been trained with male data sets over a period of time, they should not be able to, okay, feed it with more data and tell it, okay, these are the requirements. So if women that actually have this particular set apply for this, they should be able to get this job. So after the designing, right, remember user thinking, design thinking, you talk about developing it, and after developing, you test, deploy, and remember to maintain, because it's one thing to deploy, but then how are you maintaining it? If you look at so many infrastructure, even in school today, I was watching a video where some students were in a class and they were with umbrella, where there is roof. So was that structure maintained? No, that's the same thing you want to do with your app or whatever solutions you have. And in terms of requirement clarification, you have to make sure that it aligns with the scope, and there is always an edge case review, right? If you want to build a system where people can use AI to generate feature, what plans or mitigations or risk are you curtailing? What are you saying around, okay, if somebody generates my picture with your AI, what are the plans for it? Before now, we didn't have the right to be forgotten, but because AI was being placed or being made, there's now a right to be forgotten. So you can now delete most of your, tell AI, delete my data, I don't want you to store my data. Before marketing, transaction, and the rest of them, there was no right to privacy. But then because of the whole thing, people are like, right to privacy, please don't sell my data. You go on Twitter, you hear this country is doing this, China is doing this, so let us ban TikTok, let us do this. So there are so many things that comes with building things. So you have to also capture edge cases and have a shared understanding. I've talked about the design. I think they should have this because
yes, we're going to share definitely.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of design the user flow, GI screen, data model, system architecture. Okay, so this is what we actually use in my company, and this is what most software companies use, where they use the agile implementation. Yeah, you're seeing engineers talk about stand-ups, right? Sprint planning, continuous testing. Make sure you also get customer feedback, which is really necessary. Some people just say they want to build this and they go ahead and build it. They don't even ask questions. They don't know what the users want, feedbacks, and the rest of them. These are the things. In terms of development and testing, so after implementation, get your QA to test, get your team to do alpha testing. I actually do alpha testing a lot because I want the team. There are some companies you go to, and if you ask somebody, what are you guys building, or what have you guys built, they'll just tell you, oh, we are solving this problem. But they don't understand it. I mean, not the product team now or the development team. Most members of the team do not understand what is being built or what have been built. So you have to make sure that you bring in the team in your quality assurance. That's like the internal testing, and also it is validated. And then in terms of deployment, you have to prepare your release, prepare the environment, monitor your setup, and there should also be controlled rollout. Not because of how big or large the data is, but sometimes controlled rollout is also a strategy where you say, okay, these countries are now, we now have these countries in our app, and other people are anticipating when will our country come, when we release again. So it can also be a strategy. So for maintenance, you have to make sure that issues are being resolved, usage monitoring. I saw on Twitter, I think a month ago or 2 months ago, where Childec was like, so they are bringing in, what's this thing, bill payment, and people were like, why bill payment everywhere? People were raving, and they were able to tell us that this is the data. They are seeing what their riders have been experiencing. They are saying that some, because it's not every food that you go there to order that is a definite price, like 2,000. Sometimes you see 1,975, right? So if those points and those little changes accumulate over a period of time, you should be able to use it to buy data. So you should also be able to measure performance and also improve your application. So that's basically it about building. You shouldn't just anticipate running mad. You should prepare for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Really now, guys, the sky is not even wide enough when all of us are now ready to fly very high. Because now I know that there's one problem that each of us can determine today. Write it down. Don't let it run away from you. I will solve this particular problem. Write it down. Let's write it down. Think of a problem that you are about to see. Don't let all of this knowledge that this beautiful lady has just doled out to us. Don't let it. So think of a problem that you can solve. Write it down. Because the sky is enough for all of us to fly high. So on that note, now we are about to delve into the master class. This class is not for anybody that's ready to sleep or press on. This class is for people who are ready to bring out their writing pad and jot something down. Because the next person I'm about to talk, that's Anthony Atoha, mobile software engineer. Mobile software engineer, is he here? Thank you. So please, a round of applause for him. He's about to take us into the master class. Now is the time to actually really now know that the problem we've written down, like I said, is about to get structured. Now we know how to go about resolving that problem. Thank you so much, sir.
Atoha is an mobile software engineer with a track record of building scalable, high-performance applications across platforms, including Android, iOS, web, and other platforms using Flutter, Kotlin, and Swift. Known for his functional leadership and engineering position, Anthony has delivered mission-critical software across a wide range of industries, always with a focus on quality, user experience, scalability, and maintainability. His work consistently blends clean architecture, real-world impact, helping teams move faster without compromising standards. Ladies and gentlemen, with a sounding ovation, make room for Atoha and the show.
That's a powerful name. Now, where's your opening ovation? Oh my God.
just ask.
Okay, hello guys, can you hear me? Is this audible? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you can. So, the section is meant to be about, first of all, I need to know the audience I'm talking with so that I can be able to give you something that's not the slide, something that relates to you so that today is Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. You can hear me now, right? Yeah. So that when you go home on Monday, you can make use of it. So it will not be something that is scripted for an audience that is in Berlin. For us, we are here. This is Lekki, right? Don't mind me. I'm not enjoying the island. I live in the mainland. Okay, so I want to know our profession. Are there developers here? Are there product managers here? I want to know our niche. So what's the niche like? Are we students? Mixed? Designers, product designers, developers, right? I want to know so I can give you something relating to you. Mixed. Okay. So I'm a mobile software engineer and I use AI a lot. So what we're going to talk about today is not AI. It's more or less like building your career in the global sphere. You know, when I started development, I started learning programming in 2016, and it took me a lot of years for me to be able to call myself a global developer. You know what I mean by global developer, right? Yes. Where you get to earn like somebody who is in San Francisco. You know San Francisco, right? Yeah. You know Berlin, right? You know London, right? Yes. Please trust me. I didn't even drive. I took Uber from the mainland to the island. You know how much it is? 30K to come here, and I was spending 30K to go back. So I need to give him something good. I don't know if you're getting me.
Yes, you are getting.
And Google is not paying for this. This is a Google event, so they're not sponsoring it. I'm on my own. So the question now is, if you've built your career, the slide is not up, so we'll talk. If you built your career, and you built your career as a QA, you build your career as a product manager, you build your career as a software engineer, you use AI, it's so sweet. But the problem is that when you start looking for a job, and you're looking for a job as, I don't know, I studied computer science, so I'm an all-rounder. My wife is a product designer. So I've done a lot. Like, I can talk to every single person, depending on where you are. So I've done QA, I've done technical product management. But the problem is not learning those things. The problem is earning from it. And not earning where somebody will pay you. What's the max they pay Nigerians? What's the max? Okay, nobody pay 50K, please. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. So, the max I've seen was 3 million. That's the max I've seen. Yeah, per month. So a friend of mine got 2.4, but that's the max. And for him to get 2.4, I'm not telling you to lie, okay? We had to fake his previous offer letter. They were paying him 700K, and then he got a job in XSY company. I'm not going to talk about it. They were paying him 700K. And when he was told to submit his previous offer letter, I told him to take a risk. He should edit it and put 1.5M. That was what they were paying him. And he was clingy at a point, he was shaking. But guess what? From the 1.5, he got 2.4. Before he got the offer, we were in my sitting room and we were having this interview with we want to buy a company like that. And the guy asked him how much he was earning. He said he was earning 700K. And the job offer was for 4K USD. Do you know what the guy said? The guy asked him, how do you want to climb from 700,000 to 4K? Does that make sense? So what we are going to do today is for you to reach that point where nobody will ask you something like that. I'm not going to tell you how much I earn. It's between me and my God. So that you don't start telling me I'm a big man. No, I have 2 kids. I have 11 kids. Don't mind me. So what we are going to do is how to build yourself how to build a global career as a developer or as a product manager or as a technical person where companies will reach out to you. So where it gets tricky is you ask yourself, you are in Aja, you are in Lekki, you are in Ibadan, you are in Benin. How can company actually reach out to you? So one of the speakers, even though I have my headset on, I kept hearing something about digital footprint, right? I want you to do something. I don't know if any of you have devices. I want you to Google my name, Atom Anthony. Just for a second, it won't. For those that can actually, yes, ATUOHA Anthony. I want you to do something like that. Yeah. Just search it. And have you searched it? You've seen somebody that looks older than me, right? The picture looks older, right? amazing. So the beautiful part of it is digital footprint. So one of the slides I presented that I sent to the convener was companies that I wanted you to see it. So I wanted it to be the first thing you see. Companies, when I was preparing my slide, I already had the screenshot of companies that reached out to me, and then another one reached out to me this week. And before I came this morning, another one reached out to me, and it sounds like fairy tale. When you hear somebody, we are youth, right? I'm a youth. Okay, don't mind the fact that I'm married. I'm a youth like you, okay? But it sounds, those days, around 5 years ago, when somebody tell me they earn 10 million, it sounds crazy, right? Yeah. But people do. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to sympathize with anybody or trying to frame things. I'm being honest with you. People do. People living here with you in Nigeria earn up to 18 million a month. 20 M a month. It sounds so crazy. People you went with the same, people you are in the same boot camp with, they earn such an amount. Yes, tech is sweet, but tech is sweet when you don't earn in this way. You know, right? Yeah. If you get a job now, so I used to bring people up then in tech. I still bring people up in tech. And one thing I try to do is not just for you to learn and grind and watch a lot of Udemy tutorials and stuff and watch YouTube. It's for you to earn, not earning 800K. If you are living in, okay, put yourself in my shoe. If you're a father like I am, I have 2 kids. My wife stopped working. She should resume working anytime she feels like. And then you have this responsibility where you have to take care of things. 1M can't do anything if you want to save. And see where it gets very crazy. If you want to move out from here and go to Canada per se, go to US, go to Europe, they're not going to charge you. They're not going to, everything they're going to pay is based in euro, pounds, USD, right? CAD and all of that. So imagine if you earn in that currency. It will be very easy. If you have 16M and you convert it to pounds, it will give you 8K. And 8K is just school fees for somebody that's going for 1 year masters. We've already talked about 16M. Ask yourself, how long will it take me to raise that kind of money? It will take you a lot, right? So the slide is not all how I wish it is. It's not. So what we'll do is how I wish I've seen the slide. So the first thing is how to get noticed and how to actually attract this. Because if we don't learn it, it will just be me spending my time coming here, we sitting down, we learning it, and then that's it. It will be like something you watch on YouTube. So the first thing there is building yourself to be global. See, I don't come online on LinkedIn. I know how many routers I have. I don't have Starlink. It's a waste of money. Sorry if you have it. It's good. But I don't come online. If I have MTN issue, I don't come on LinkedIn and I start yapping MTN. I start telling type MTN. I start saying my network is bad. I have 5G. Do you know what you're doing? This is very, very funny. It's very, very funny because I've hired Nigerians here. I've hired people abroad because I'm a CTO for a company in the UK. Yes, don't shout, please. It doesn't pay me at all. So I've hired people, and what we'll do is outside the skill, they look at you. I'm serious. They look at you and what you've done. What did you do? You go to Twitter and then, yes, there is a lot of killings in Nigeria, but is that what you're tweeting on? Is that what you're retweeting on your book? I'm not telling you not to do it, please. But you are not, what do you call those people that used to advocate? You're not an activist. You're a developer. You're a PM. You're a designer. Talk about what you do. That is the first thing. So the first one is building an online presence. LinkedIn. For the past almost 5 years now, all jobs I've gotten is from that little app called LinkedIn, including the one I have now, including the one I decided to do an interview on Monday. So there's a job that is coming from Germany, and I felt like I should do it. Maybe get the job. So I want to start doing this pimping they used to do. What they call it, pimp, right? I want to start doing it. So the job is like 6K. So I'll get a Nigerian here that is very good, paying like 2M. He'll do the job, and then I'll be coming for their stand-up, and then I'll collect the rest of the money. I've not met. No, I'm telling you things that are real. This is real. This is my reality. But a lot of Nigerians build their career, build it to the highest level. Even use M5. I don't use M5. I don't even use M series. I came with, so that if they stop me on the road and carry my laptop, I'll not cry. So I came with 2019 Mac. But you see a lot of people who live, this fake tech lifestyle, right? Where you wear real Nike, you do all of this, it's so sweet. But the truth of the matter is, people like that still earn maybe below 2K. Yeah. Or below 1K. But if you really want to earn, earn the right way, not the fake lifestyle whatsoever. You really have to create that atmosphere that gives a recruiter or gives somebody in the HR that feeling they get when they are talking with somebody who is paying taxes. You know, UK pays 40%, right? Yeah. Other countries pay a lot of taxes, right? Yeah. You need to give a recruiter that same feeling they get when they are recruiting somebody in San Francisco. The first thing, start with your LinkedIn profile. So one of the things there is optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So one of the things I did when I wanted to start working for only Nigerian companies was the fact that I knew, where can I find them? That's the first thing, right? So if we decide, as I said, I want to tell us something that is for you. So if we leave this place now and we want to start searching or start building ourselves for start building our career as a global person, how can we start? The first thing there is the digital footprint. You can start writing articles. You know, one of the things that a lot of people think I waste time on, if you go to my LinkedIn, I think I made a post 3 days ago. And it's so foolish. And when I post it, I changed my title yesterday, and somebody from Turin reached out to me this morning. I just added AI. I've been doing, it sounds crazy, and it sounds so made up. I'm serious, it sounds so made up. So I can remember the first time somebody in Google reached out to me. So I've interviewed at Google. I wanted to show you guys, it's on the slide. Do you know what I did? I wanted to move to Dublin. So Basil here is one of my former colleagues. I wanted to move to Dublin. And I did one crazy thing. I changed my location from Nigeria to Dublin. Don't do that, it's very bad. I changed my location from Lagos to Dublin. 2 days after, a recruiter from Google reached out to me. It's so funny. So that's why I don't advocate for people to be here. But if you want to be here, you need to learn how to live like you're living over there for you to attract it here. You get? And it's very bad. I was trying to do that. That was what I was trying to do then. And then he reached out to me. We started doing interviews. That was for SRO, and they wanted me to do Python and C++. I was considering it, and then he asked me where I was. I told him, no, I'm in Lagos, I'm not in Dublin. So I had to change it automatically. So he told me that Google was not willing to sponsor. And there's something they do there's something Dublin has. Dublin is Ireland. You know Ireland, right? Yes. They have this critical skill employment visa where somebody doesn't need to give you COS. They don't need to sponsor you, right? You get the offer letter, you use it and self-sponsor. And Google that was it. That was the end of that chapter. And then I stopped changing location. My location is Lagos, Nigeria, and I've been able to work for companies all around. So what you just have to do is to present yourself. So another thing is, as I mentioned, you need to be able to collaborate with all those articles that sound as if they are nice. I write for Free Code Camp. You know Free Code Camp, right? Yeah. And to write for Free Code Camp is very, very easy. I'm not telling you to go waste your time to write for Free Code Camp, but it pays a lot. So imagine somebody, if you Google my name as I told you to do, you see articles I've written for Free Code Camp. And then Free Code Camp did their metrics this year. And even though I don't spend so much time doing it, I was named one of the 2025 open source whatsoever this year. Imagine what that gives to somebody who is trying to look for mobile engineers. Do you get it? That is one. You need to see yourself as a brand. So when people say this, it sounds so funny. Sorry, that's what everybody keep on saying, right? So what I'm doing to you now, I'm also selling myself. So if you see jobs now in the future and you talk about mobile development, you say, I know one Anthony that is very good. That's how it is. So I don't need to meet you to sell myself to you. If you go to my LinkedIn page, spend 30 minutes on it, you start getting the feeling. That's it. And then you reach out to me. That's just it. So the slide not being available, I want to talk about something for the developers. And that thing is GitHub. If you're a developer, I want to ask you, are there developers here? Software engineers here, right? I wanted something. Okay, product designers. PMs, technical writers, PM. Are you PM? Exactly. My elder sister. I just told my elder sister. My elder sister. Who are the